The final countdown. Good morning, everybody. It's roughly around 9 a.m. here in Reykjavik, Iceland. It's day 2 of Arts and Audiences. I'm at Phil Campbell.
I'm at PCM Creative, Karen Lyon.
And today we are on the final day of the Arts and Audiences conference. Yesterday was full on, really intense. Today's more about us as the audience developers in the Bloggers Lounge, talking a lot more to the bloggers in terms of their presentations, which are in Module 5, which is at the end of today. But before we get into the modules and series, we're going to do a bit of a housekeeping. Apps for today, people should be following along and things.
We've got Bizibo, of course, and if you go to events.bizibo.com/arts and audiences, there's one of the links.
Is it Arts Audio 14? Is it on there?
Arts Aud 14. No, that is one of them. No, it's not on there, unfortunately.
Is it not?
That's the QR code only.
Okay. So Bizibo is spelled B-I-Z-Z-A-B-O.
And I will put the flyer with the QR code in the tweet stream, so you can scan it from wherever you are.
Okay. One of the things I should say, search.twitter.com. If you put hashtag ArtsAud14, so that's ARTSAUD 14, you'll see everybody who's attaching that hashtag to their tweets throughout the day. So anybody who's posting any audio, any video, anything to do with the event will be in that stream.
The reason why I'm so distracted is it snowed.
Yeah, that's true, actually. We did wake up this morning and there was a dusting of snow, and it was kind of, okay, how deep is that? Because literally at the back of our hotel, it's kind of gone like that. It's like where the wind has just pushed it all up against the side. So I didn't know if we were walking through that or that this morning, which wasn't bad.
Which actually it was okay.
It was fine.
So yeah, now I've got that out of my system.
Sure.
Day 2, we start off with a recap of day 1, usefully. So that will be in Nordlus, which is the other stream, where we cut to from here with Katrine, who's been really doing
awesome
a good
front
job
of house of pulling it all together.
At narrating the bits in between as the moderator. And she's going to be joined with Ingrid from Audiences Norway, one of our Audiences Europe partners. And then the second session takes a little bit of a diversion from yesterday. So where everybody broke out into sessions and you, the live stream viewers, went into one of the sessions, we've got the Private Investigator, which is on the art museum as a learning space and digital space, and on cultural citizenship. So we've been involved quite a lot recently with museum stuff.
Yeah.
So it's one of the most active hashtags I've ever seen. So the museum community really active. So if you are from that community, do tweet us out for that session. It's going to be on demand, and I'll see if I can pick up some of the Muso mix kind of hashtags and try and get something out to them.
Yeah, because Mar Dixon, at Mar Dixon on Twitter, you know, she mentioned and said, you know, most of the experimentation that goes on with sort of the apps and kind of audience engagement in terms of technology seems to happen a lot in museums, because they've got a less risk averse to give something a go, because they're willing to sort of let it fail fast. And that's interesting, because I never thought of museums as being that sort of social space for those experiments to happen. But when you actually really think about it, of course it makes sense.
But I think libraries and museums are those natural conduits for the general public. They don't necessarily, they're visitors rather than audience. And I think that's something today, sort of looking at that concept of defining audience, is something we've talked a lot about, isn't it? You know, what makes an audience? Why do we expect an audience? And, you know, it's hard work, as we've heard from people, but why is it hard work?
Yeah, I was going to say, to add to that, over dinner last night we were talking about, we hadn't really heard the word loyalty mentioned that much throughout the day yesterday, and I think in terms of audience development, you know, it's all very well getting a bunch of bloggers on board to help you amplify something, but then it's kind of the loyalty exchange between the brand, event and the blogger. How do you keep that relationship going? That's important to me. Well,
in business, they're always saying, I'm always hearing, what's in it for me? What's in it for them? I think we need to ask that a lot more of our audience. You know, it's not just about the vanity of the performance getting validation by having a large audience. When they've left, what do they get from it? How do you find out from them? And therefore, how do you keep them coming back? And
we've just asked you loads and loads of questions there. So if you want to answer any of them, you can hashtag ArtsAud14. We have a tweet wall, which is artsaud14.tweetwall.com. And we'd love to get your comments, because we're constantly glancing at this all day. So if you've tuned in somewhere in the world, take a little photo of where you are. If you have your cat sitting there on your lap with some toast and and a cup of coffee, let us know, because it's nice to feel where the other side of that camera is. We're just being looked at by like this Borg-like Terminator 2 camera, so it'd be great to know who's behind the scenes.
And if you're meeting in a group as well, if you're in a coffee lounge or you're in a meeting space, do take a photograph of you all and send that through. Because actually, I would like to see this gentleman not on the leaderboard and this gentleman not on the leaderboard. So please send in your tweets so that we can
beat these two people.
Yeah, that's who you've got to beat.
I don't know why, but it's become really competitive that people become like the top one. Scott had nailed it yesterday and ended up with 25 kind of
Bart
engagement.
can be here. Bart's another one of our arts and audiences partners. We're quite happy to have him active on the leaderboard.
Thanks to DefNet for retweeting the link going out of the live stream. That's very nice of you.
Cool.
I think there's a few people already sort of putting stuff up there. But yeah, literally that will go around with Vine, Instagram, Flickr, Twitter. So anything media-wise that you embed, it should show up on there. Yeah.
So our keynote is Peter Georgels. Gorgels or Georgels?
Yes, sorry.
We will apologise now and probably at the beginning of every session for butchering names.
I don't have the inclination of the inflection even.
Yeah, and if there's a particular name that we butcher staggeringly, please do tweet it, the hilarity of that. And
break it down for us so that we can do the vowels. That would be awesome.
But he's the digital manager at the Dutch Reich Museum.
Yeah, which is Amsterdam, isn't it?
Yeah, I think they're...
Yeah.
So that's going to be interesting. Then we've got cultural citizenship at 10:10 with the head of schools from the National Gallery of Denmark and Lisa Satrup, who's a PhD fellow from Rockcliffe University. And then we have the round table sessions. Now, yesterday it was breaking out into different rooms. This particular session, they're all going to be sat around their tables in Nordloos, and there'll be a session. But we're actually going to come here, and we're going to have our own round table. So I will attempt to fire up a Google Hangout at that point, and we'll tweet the link. So we'll see if we can get some of you into here. But we'll also get Kath and...
I forget.
Yeah. Oh, it's Nana, Lisa and Nana. It's two Nanas, so at least we don't have to remember too many names.
Cool.
Nana and Lisa, and they also have a critical friend with them. That's one of the things with this event and with audiences recently. I've heard a lot mentioned about critical friends. They're really keen to invite people in who might have an opposing position, or there's been friction in the past with organisations. They're really wanting to bring them in to the network and kind of ask them why are they different, how we're different, what are they doing right, and how they can move forward using critical partners. I think that's a really brave thing to do.
Yeah, I think it also opens up the conversation dialogue, because you do go away from conferences going, I kind of wish I'd had that kind of interaction, or, should I say something? I had a few of the bloggers yesterday coming up going, is it all right for me to say that? And I was kind of saying, well, you're independent, you're not necessarily attached to a particular company, and so this is the time to be brave about if you really do want to get those things out, because actually not talking about those things is why we don't get certain kind of audiences in these venues, is because they have questions that don't ever get answered. So it's kind of nice to have a group of critical
friction is essential for dialogue and progress and change. So if there isn't that friction, things don't change. So
we should mention that the Bloggers Lounge has been set up because a lot of conference centres, you have real trouble finding plugs and power, but also somewhere to break out and just chill in a group of people and catch up. And we're positioned near Rema A. If you're actually coming this morning, you haven't actually got here yet. Also, we have 2 streaming cameras, one in the main room for the presenters, and then this camera also doubles up to be streaming here, but then gets positioned into Rema A as well, so we can capture a breakout session. So we've got a real nice setup, and that's all hosted by a bunch of guys called Sonic, and they do a whole bunch of different things apart from streaming, sort of things with computers. And things with computers, that's a bit vague, isn't it? They do stuff with computers. It could be Bitcoin miners for all we know.
Internet of things, isn't it?
Yeah, no, they're great, actually. They've been brilliant. And Ollie's our main man in the corner there.
Who's here today with us.
Right.
After the round table discussions, there's then a summary of what was said in all of those sessions. So you'll be back in Nordloos for that, and we'll send some of your comments, if we get some, back into that session as well with them.
I think we should drop these questions in here as well, because these might feed into our polls at some point today. One of the features that we're really pushing today is that the Bizibo app that we have, it is an event guide that you can see. I mean, we're talking about it here, but you can actually go through the event through the day. But another side effect of the Bizibo app, it pushes polls every so often and asks you questions. So I kind of want to ask these 3 questions here now, so that people can maybe think about it and then feed it back as a tweet.
We'll definitely put these questions on the Bizibo then, definitely, as a question for you to answer.
How can art museums help adult second language learners acquire a language? How can such initiatives constitute a framework for cultural citizenship for new citizens in Danish society? How can the museum contribute in the creation of new cultural and historical frameworks for new Danish citizens, as well as for the museums as part of a collective learning process? Now, you don't have to be about the Danish part. I would like to hear that from wherever you are watching this, actually. They're all applicable.
The 2 polls that will have been released at 9 o'clock, so if you've got the Bizibo app, you should have had them pushed to you.
Oh, cool.
One is, are you attending in the cloud or on the ground? So if you're watching, please do log on to that. And that's a percentage poll, so we're going to see what kind of percentage response we've got going on there. There's also, if you're on the ground, whereabouts are you? So there is a list of the Scandinavian countries, because we are a Scandinavian country conference. And then there is Europe, US. Also, there is, if you are attending in the cloud, whereabouts are you? And that, again, is Scandinavian nations or whether you're elsewhere in the world. We're really keen to see what sort of balances we have. So with these questions, do answer those questions. I think we'll probably put them to be Scandinavian nation-based, being as we are that conference. But if you want to put a comment about your own country, it is going to be a written response question.
Yeah, I was just thinking of feeding back. Morning, Scott.
Morning, hi.
Good. I have to give you a mic. How you doing this morning?
Hey, doing great, yeah.
Scott is our most proficient blogger, and I guarantee you he'll be there in about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
How did you get on last night? Did you do any more blogging last night, or did you get a chance to do it? Or...
There will be some blogs this morning.
There will be blogs.
There will be blogs, yeah. Winter's coming. Blogs.
While we're here and we've got a bit of time, we've literally got like 15 minutes. I went through some of the Saga Fest stuff last night.
Okay, cool.
Can you tell us a bit about that? Because you're actually a resident of Reykjavik, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's applicable to talk about it because of the way that you're developing that audience. Can people tell a bit of the history about Saga Fest?
Okay, yeah. So essentially Saga Fest is just a music and arts festival out in a farm in Selfoss, or near Selfoss, which is about an hour from Reykjavik. And we're similar to the conference, we're co-creating and co-designing everything. So we're working with the farmers, working with the local community to design and imagine what the festival will look like. Basically, usually festivals look like a couple of small, large experiences. For Saga Fest, we're just having hundreds of people facilitate different mini experiences just to give them sort of ownership over the festival. So it can be a music performance because it's BYOI, bring your own instrument, or it can be a theatrical creation where they incorporate the community. It can be a story that they tell around the fires that we have at night. But yeah, pretty much everyone there will be involved with the process.
It's like a real-time podcast.
Yeah.
It's a real-time podcast.
It's like a pop-up community.
Yeah. I love the idea of it because it sort of allows you to just have that idea and bang and to execute on it like instantaneously. I love that. Also, Mozfest, which I'm going to in the next couple of days, they have a thing called session wranglers.
Okay.
I think you should start using that term for everybody.
Session wrangling.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just love the idea because they help. No, what was it?
Well, no,
session facilitators.
It's session wranglers, and there's a very thing about different semantics of language in the UK.
Oh, good point.
Okay.
Session wranglers in that we always find, moderator is like milk monitor at school. It's sort of, school prefect, and you don't want that edge. So I think session wrangler is brilliant. But the one that you guys have been having here, which I love, and I know we wouldn't be able to use it in the UK, is time fascist.
Yeah, no, we can use that.
I love that. And sort of that notion is they will make use of time. But we.
So yeah, one of the things about Saga Fest, because I was reading up on it and I look at the website and I was sort of digging around, is that this notion of popping stuff up to it's great that people are telling stories and being creative, but there's a whole sustainability edge to it. Like I presume you want some kind of takeaway from that. That will
right, exactly.
Go into
yeah,
something
because
else.
I think the idea is that you have these festivals or these conferences, and there's this great energy and momentum, and people are learning and making connections. But you know, sometimes people go home, you know, and they go back to work, go back to school, you know, wherever they're coming from. And how do you keep that festival spirit alive? Right. And how do you make a real meaningful impact? And so that's a part of the co-designing process with the local community and with the farmers. It's, you know, you're going to have 1,000 people descending into your community who are really excited about helping you out and working with you. And what are some things that you're imagining? What's your vision? And so, you know, one of the ideas is that the community wants to start something like an eco-lodge or an eco-village. So can the structures that we're building at the festival not just be temporary, you know, structures, but can they be permanent structures where every year...
I love this. Yeah. I love this. He's making a conference so we can find somewhere to live. Oh, Scott, you are crafty. You are well crafty. I wanted to do this in Spain where I was going to make a retreat for creatives. Yeah. And the idea was that every year, because there's nothing in... The place I'm looking at is Extremadura in Spain. Very, nothing there, desert, nothing deserted. Like 40% of the 18 to 24-year-olds are unemployed. Okay. And I'm kind of like, there's no Airbnb or anything like that around there. So I was thinking, buy a big piece of land, create a retreat for creatives with shipping containers, and then every day you have different things like textiles in one and food in another. And you literally go there from London or somewhere where you've been in a pressure cooker of a startup for like 12 months, and you just get off the grid for 2 weeks and literally just transition to each thing. Okay. So I wish I was here for your Saga Fest because I would have loved to run that.
There's a continuation.
I would love to. Don't say that.
There's a continuity of digital because, as you know, the way the Bloggers Lounge has been established and we've had the Google Hangouts, I think it'd be great to continue either every couple of months a hangout where we kind of bring back these projects, and then if you've got an event going on, that we can run a Bloggers Lounge from where we are, and we can kind of get, you know, you've got somewhere to send your information into and sort of have a dialogue about how it's going and how projects where we are. It's that's that continuation of a blogger's audience. I think that audience developers, hopefully we can kind of show them something that they can embrace and help us to develop as an embedded audience.
Wow, sorry about that. We just need to do that. Nobody really looks at television. I've never seen a presenter sneeze on television. How do they do that? They must have like literally nose like all like bugged up.
I was thinking that yesterday.
How do you create a back channel though like that? That is consistent. How do we keep in touch with Scott like that? That's the key for me. Yeah. Like, how would we say, Scott? I mean, you could keep a Google Calendar, but you need to look at the calendar. We need some kind of like.
Well, no, I think the regular
event space that's a back channel all the time. I don't know.
So it's like, you know, we'd been scheduling to do Wednesday at 6 o'clock. Maybe we should just keep that time and do it, you know, twice every other month. Yeah. And just have it in the schedule, and it is there, and it's something we've always got in our calendar. If you can make it, you can, and if you make it, you can't.
Like a show and tell, maybe.
Yeah, but I think, you know, we'll try and see if we can keep that because, of course, Arts and Audiences will be running next year, which I think it's going to Denmark, which is going to be picked up at the end of this conference about, you know, what would you like to see developing during now and then. So, I mean, maybe that's what we do. We do continue it to keep that dialogue going.
Yeah, I'm so down.
One of the things I want to ask you in terms of, you know, when you're there in the next couple of weeks' time, anybody that you come across in terms of sustainability, ethical sustainability in terms of products that we make now that are, you know, helping the environment. That's a real... Green tech is kind of where I'm transitioning into as a blogger.
And sustainability goes beyond environmentalism.
Of course,
right?
It's social and economic as well, yeah. It's the impact of that. Yeah. I think once people start in that, they start looking at every area of their life anyway. It becomes like a matter of course, like, oh, actually, that's got that metal in it. And you know, right? Yeah. So I'm very keen to set up a green tech bloggers network of a whole bunch of different bloggers globally and have that as a digital agency.
As if on cue.
We have more bloggers. They've arrived. Come in.
Come in. They have
come in.
Descended.
Come behind. Come behind. How are you? Come behind. We are streaming, by the way. Yes. We are live. Magnus, do you want to sit there and have a quick chat with CJ? Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Are you all excited about Module 5 today?
Yeah.
Are you gonna? Are you ready then?
Well,
yeah, Magnus can go first.
Okay.
I think I'm as ready as I'll get. More or less. I mean, obviously, I will have some time during the day to prepare something. But I have been taking notes, obviously, throughout yesterday. and I'm the kind of guy who's thinking while sleeping.
Yeah.
So I woke up this morning. Okay.
So I
took my shower.
I just need to double check with Ollie. When are we switching over to the main room? Because it's 9:25. We've got like 2 or 3 minutes. 10 minutes.
We'll
Will
see.
you let us know when activity? Carry on, man.
Well, anyway, I think I know more or less. It's only 7 minutes, so it's not like you can really, get in there and put something. So it's either going to be something really, I don't know. I tweeted yesterday something like it was old news. One of the presenters, what he was presenting, and so I'm a bit scared actually that I will. Come up on stage and present something which is old news.
I came up with names for you lot last night in terms of I was trying to think of how you theme it as 6 of you as bloggers, and for Ida I came up with Narrative Alchemist because of your pictures, Scott the Serendipity Engine, Magnus the Magnetic Polar Bear. I have no idea where that came from. And is it Reva? Is it how do I say it again? Ranva. Yeah, I came up with Vibrant Faro Flower. I don't know why that was there. And then Rebecca, Modulation Construction. Because she's all about the 52 hertz. Yeah. I was trying to theme you as a group because I think sometimes speakers get lost in conferences. Like in terms of you just become this asset that you push on stage.
You're
and yet
young
you've all
people.
got a great kind of energy behind you. So I think you need to define yourself as a theme, because I'd love you to go on stage and go, I am Magnus, the magnetic polar bear. That would be awesome.
Well, that's
happening.
Yeah.
That has to happen. Please do that for me.
That's
Should we go around? Have you got any? Can you get that shot, Ollie, over there? Or
can we get that?
We
can't get round. Oh, so you're voice
cool.
only. You're lucky.
Okay. Okay. Hi.
So your blog. So have you got any ideas for your session on Module 5 yet?
Yeah, we spoke about it yesterday. That maybe I'll just
the live stream don't know.
Reveal that I'm Banksy or something. No.
You could say that. We believe you.
Yeah, and you have no proof. I'm not. Or that I'm the 52 hertz whale. That's the big thing.
I know that you are.
So, yeah.
Are you looking forward to it, or is it a bit scary, or?
I haven't really thought that much about it because it's just 7 minutes.
Right.
And I will be there as a part of all of us, and that feels safe.
Even
though I will speak for myself in 7 minutes, when we have spoken here, even though we are up to so different things, all of the bloggers, even though we're not bloggers, all of us, I think that we have the same. We have so much in common in how we look at this conference and our participation or unparticipation in it or whatever.
I think everybody comes with a decent opinion, though. I think everybody's got been really good at tweeting. I also think that's although you have 7 minutes on the stage, I also think it's a time that if you feel confident and brave enough and you want to get something out there, like the whole thing you told me about the whale thing, I love in terms of how you packaged it. And somebody might be in the audience who goes, actually, we want you to write in a column for us to do that, full time. And then all of a sudden your life has just gone from that to I'm doing this now. I'm out in another country. So I would really invest in that 7 minutes today. Should we pass it?
Yeah, sure.
I presume that I love that camera. It just stalks you. It's like Terminator 2. It's from the future. John Connor, we're here.
Yeah,
go for it.
Yeah, there's some good coffee over there.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, it will be cool.
Can we say what you're doing? You've kind of been illustrating stuff, right?
Yeah.
Or have I removed the surprise?
No, it's all right. Yeah, I have been illustrating since I'm 28 hours old to Twitter. I felt a bit whoa, what should I say? But no, drawing, I know. So I've been drawing my impressions. So that would be my way to speak about the conference,
cool.
I think. Yeah.
In terms of Twitter, is there a reason why you've never gone up? Do you not use a lot of technologies like social media stuff?
No, I haven't actually. I've been always a bit waiting. I don't know.
No, that's good. But tell me why that is. Is it because you don't know who you're talking to, or?
I think it's the way I work as an actress and illustrator is always so tactile. I always work on stage with the people, blah 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 blah, and I've never had the thought that I could reach out. I don't know, because it has been so on stage and with the audience.
I think it's common.
Defining the texture of digital.
I love that. I love that.
But now with the blog, with my my boyfriend just like forced me to have a blog some months ago, and I love it. I absolutely love it. Having it, it's amazing. It's super cool.
Use it as a post-it note.
Yeah, it's so cool. It's really, it's amazing. So
cool. Right, I know we're limited on time, so let's go. Right, let's keep going around. Have you thought about the presentation yet at all? Are you a bit worried about it, or?
I'm a bit worried. I tried writing something last night because I like to be prepared.
Yeah.
But I think it'll be okay.
All right, I'm looking forward to it because I reckon I think I might have to sit in the audience and do that. Scott, I know you're just going to smash it.
No, we were just talking about we should all sacrifice 20 seconds of each of our presentations and do like a Nas cover.
That's
awesome. And just like get up there. I think it was Rebecca was like, we should just all stand up there and just like, and we're like,
awesome.
Hip hop, an expression of culture, co-creation.
So you need a slide for each one of you with different artists behind you, and then you just need to riff for 20 seconds.
And we need some costumes, so if anyone out there is, has some great...
Hashtag arts audiences, costumes from around the area. We're at Harper here in
Hashtag bring a hat. Yeah.
Hashtag nice.
Yeah, so.
How far are we, Ollie, from
Are they starting to move into the space?
Kind of. They're just filling up. So we're
we can hold on to
I was going to say, we're trying to work out if we can go back and forth to the live stream, the main stream yet. Don't forget to follow along on the tweet wall today, artsord14.tweetwall.com. Hashtag anything you do, media, audio, video, textual, blogs, anything that with the hashtag. To get on the board. We've got a couple of people who look lost and frozen. I'm not quite sure who they are. I think they're part of the conference. They could be just some
No, I think that was last night.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay, so it just sort of loops around, does it? Any particular sessions that people are interested in seeing today? Anything that really jumps out? Have anybody gone through the schedule at all?
Well, I think we've got, as I say, there's the round table sessions, which is going to be an interesting one to see how we feed back. Module 4, which is then bridging the gap. After lunch, policy-based, community-based, arts-run projects, identify motivations and barriers for cultural participation amongst non-users and performing artists. So there's a really, as we're getting towards the end of the day, it's going to be about community. And I think the way that you guys are all so embedded in the notion of co-creation, I think a lot of the slightly older generation of the conference are still coming to terms with what it means to co-create. And I think
they're scared of ownership. They want to own it. And I think this new generation's
like,
let's do it, all of it. Let's go.
Yeah.
Which I love, actually. And it's kind of what I've been trying to do for 8 years. It's kind of like, dude, just get on with it. I don't want to own it. Just build it. But I even give away the ideas so that somebody else builds it because I don't have time. So I just build it because I'll use it.
So any sessions that you guys sort of have in mind that you want to see, or any speakers?
I personally want to see Tim Jones burst in the community arts bubble.
Well, we've actually got him as our REMA A session.
Yo.
Yes.
So we will be interviewing him.
Yeah.
No, but definitely, I mean, in terms of, I'm on a daily basis, I'm working with community marketing. And so the entry barriers and could be fun, to hear a professional talk about it, or at least present it.
I think the thing is where you hold yourself and the way you talk, man. What is a professional and a guru?
From the moment you've attended this conference, applying and being accepted, you have become professional.
I think you should do a vlog every day, just like 30 seconds of just you just riffing, and then just that's it. That's on your community blog. It's like checking off. My name is Magnus. People would love it. I'm telling you, they would just YouTube Magnus. It would be called the Magnetic Magnus. I'm telling you.
So, I mean, the interesting one's going to be
freaked him out now.
the Arts and Audiences. Audiences Europe is going to be in REMA B, and that is ripping up the rule book. So that one is going to be talking about how we change perceptions to entry to Barry. So Richard's session is going to be interesting.
This connecting with communities making culture on their own terms is the game up for the traditional models of community art making and funding. And I think that bursting the community arts bubble is going to be a good session. So Tim Jones from the UK.
And so any questions, we've got polling up and running today. So if there's a question that you guys as bloggers want to ask the audience, do write down your poll, whether it's multiple choice or if it's a question that you want a short answer to, but do sort of consider how the response will be presented when you do your question. Same on in the cloud. If you want to ask a question of the audience, do tweet it, hashtag it, and if it's a question that we can turn into a poll, we will try and do that. And also, how we've been changing between sessions, has this been a good way of doing it? Do you want to go to the main hall and sit there for 5 minutes while it fills in to get that sense of preparation?
No.
Or do you want to go straight there when we finish talking to you? And there we go, we have the clip.
We'll catch up with you later on.
Cheers.
Thanks for watching. Bye.